summer rush.
Nobody's doing it big like Digicel this summer. Top up with $1,000 or more and collect the letters to spell the word RUSH for a chance to win one of 3 brand new Toyota Rush SUVs. Yes, you heard it right. 3 brand new Toyota Rush SUVs.
Drive in style for the summer. Hey, Digicel Summer Rush.
Start topping up now.
This is the news on top of the hour.
Live from our studio in Georgetown.
Kaieteur Radio, 99.1 FM.
And that's the news of the moment. Good evening and welcome to this evening's newscast right here on Kaieteur Radio. I am Kevin Smith. Let's get to the news in detail. The National Assembly yesterday passed the Petroleum Bill 2021, which will ensure that private lands acquired for the laying of a fiber optic cable, as well as the establishment of the $900 million gas to energy project, are done so lawfully and that there is fair compensation for citizens. Leading the debate during the sitting was Natural Resources Minister Vikram Bharat. He noted that the amendment bill is intended to enhance Section 52 of the Principal Act to ensure the government has oversight in the acquisition of the land to release key projects in the oil sector. In addition, he said the act was amended to provide that a landowner or lawful occupier's consent might either be given unconditionally or subject to such conditions as are specified in the instrument of consent. Bharat said these additions allow for a degree of transparency and accountability not accommodated by the previous provisions. Meanwhile, Opposition Member of Parliament David Patterson has submitted a motion to the House pertaining to ExxonMobil's flaring at the offshore Stabroek Block. According to an overview of the motion, ESSO was on June 1, 2017 granted an environmental permit to undertake Phase 1 of the Liza development project, which included the use of an oil vessel to process, store, and offload the recovered oil during production operations within the Stabroek Block. Additionally, the motion points out Clause 13.1 in the Liza 1 and Liza 2 permits, which mandate that the Environmental Protection Agency reserves the right to review and amend the conditions attached to this permit. The motion further requested that the Liza 1 and Liza 2 permits are immediately amended by the EPA to become consistent with the updated conditions in the PR permit relative to flaring. And moving on, the government of Guyana disclosed yesterday that it received $79.6 million for the nation's 7th oil lift, which was purchased by Indian Oil Corporation Limited. In a statement to the media, the Ministry of Natural Resources reminded that on July 3rd, 1,047,820 barrels of oil were lifted from the Liza Destiny, with a value of $79.6 million. This resulted in a grand total to date of 7,056,262 barrels, which earned Guyana $388.7 million. That money is being held in the Natural Resource Fund account at the Federal Reserve Bank of New York. According to the manager of that account, the closing balance of the NRF account is $436,095,328. And moving on, GECOM CEO Keith Lowenfield yesterday withdrew the application he filed in court to stop the Commission's efforts to dismiss him over concerns that he would not be afforded a fair hearing. The CEO's withdrawal comes after an amended motion to terminate his contract was placed for consideration before the High Court. The termination of the contract was preferred as part of the arguments in the case surrounding his removal from office following an amendment made to the motion for his dismissal, presented by two of 3 of the ruling PPPC appointed GCOM commissioners Bibi Shiddick and Sayes Ganraj earlier in June. And moving on, after admitting to an oil leak caused by a faulty line, Paria Fuel Trading Company Limited, which is a Trinidadian company, was on Sunday trying to contain an oil spill. In a release published by the Trinidad Guardian yesterday, the company indicated that a leak along a 12-inch crude pipeline on land was identified as the source of the spill. It noted too that the requisite repair works were undertaken and the line was isolated at approximately 11 hours 35 on Sunday. The release stated as well that assurance checks conducted by the company revealed that there are no additional leaks along the pipeline. As such, it noted that the spill is contained and residual cleanup is currently ongoing. And with that, we've come to the end of this evening's newscast. I am Kevin Smith. Thank you for listening. Coming up next is a short presentation, as usual, from the publisher of the Kaieteur News, Mr. Glenn Lal, followed by the National Outlook with GHK Lal, and at 19 hours 20, last evening's edition of the Glenn Lal Show, Tell It As It Is. Do stay tuned.
Want value for your advertising dollar? Then place your ads on Kaieteur Radio's newscasts. Streamed live on 6 different mediums, reaching hundreds of thousands. Advertise today and watch your dollar grow. Call us on 225-8465 or 226-8210 today.
Guyana, I have a question for you. Who goes into a business with a partner in which he gives you a limited time to verify the bills he's spending? Well, that is what ExxonMobil and the oil people doing to us. Yes, it is Raphael Trapman who signed that agreement in which Guyana has only 2 years to check and verify all expenses Exxon throw at us. When all over the world, oil countries demands no less than 5 years to do their checking, Guyana settled for 2. Guyana has gotten over $10 billion in bills so far from Liza 1 and Liza 2. And the 2 years already expire on us to check that. So we have to accept and pay that like an idiot, like a fool. Yes. Yes. Now, brothers and sisters, we have the 3rd Project Payara, in which another $10 billion in bills have been thrown at us to check. And the time is already running out too on this one to check. And what are we hearing from Jagdeo, the Vice President? Yes,